There's no question it's been a tumultuous few months for the federal government of Justin Trudeau. Um, but frankly, it's hard to imagine any government that's been more politically tone deaf than this one. Whether you're talking about their incessant pounding of the climate change nonsense, just yesterday, the environment minister said that icebergs off the coast of Newfoundland were a dangerous sign of climate change. Apparently, that warning came 107 years too late to warn the captain of the Titanic. You go to the carbon tax, which most Canadians are against. It's hurting lower and middle class Canadians the most because they can least afford to pay that extra money. Uh, the but the worst example, I think, of this is last week's dedication of the Kandahar Airfield Memorial at the new Department of Defense headquarters in West Ottawa. It was absolutely the wrong thing, the wrong message to send by not inviting members of the families of the 159 Canadian soldiers who lost their lives there since 2002. In fact, they didn't even put out a press release on it. They put up a little blurb on Facebook, and that was about it. And the worst part about the whole thing is that the memorial is behind a secure area at Defense Department headquarters. So the only people that can actually go and pay their respects there are people who have a security access card to get into the building. If a family member wants to go and lay some flowers for their loved one who was killed there, they can't do it. Why not put it at the National War Museum in Ottawa on Wellington Street? Why not put a memorial up, on the sidewalk out front so that all Canadians can see it unobstructed? It makes no sense to me at all. Chief of Defense Staff, who's already reeling. General Vance is already reeling under the firestorm of the whole Mark Norman debacle, and that's all it can be described as, is a debacle, when he blunders right into this PR disaster. And it was all done with the blessing of the defense minister and the prime minister. It's just inconceivable to me that they would allow something like this to happen and basically stick their fingers in the eyes of the families of those who lost loved ones in Afghanistan during those years. After 9/11, Canada was one of the first nations to send boots on the ground there with sniper teams and whatnot that went to assist the CIA operations and the U.S. Military operations in the mountains there. We've been we're in country from literally, I believe it was just early November 2001, right through till our troops came back just a few years ago. And as I say, during the course of that time, we lost 159 good men and women. I can't imagine. I mean, it's nice, I suppose, that they're putting up a memorial, but it's absolutely tone deaf and frankly plain stupid to put the thing in the National Defense headquarters where no Canadians other than those who are employed there in that building can go and see it. It's remarkably tone deaf. And it's just another example of this government and how they're just doing things without consulting people, without asking Canadians what they think, and certainly without listening to stakeholders who really care about these sorts of issues. The amount of disrespect for our military and the way that they've handled this is frankly astounding. For True North, I'm Leo Knight.